What is up to the transparency? How we doing? Good? Let's get this party rocking. Boom. Hello and welcome to Truth and Transparency. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Transparency. Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Not sure if this is working.
Today is not a day to celebrate. But the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi.
Take care, Miss Morgan. See you soon, Miss Morgan.
Paparazzi, stop.
Let's jump into it. What's up, mods? How are we feeling? Good? Feeling good? I'm feeling great. Fabulous. I enjoyed my day out in Modesto, California. Scott Peterson, Lacey Peterson case. But we were talking about the Bryan Kohberger case. So get your Atlanta brains on. 10th request. Ann Taylor is just shredding through the paperwork, shredding through the discovery. When you keep asking for discovery, it's because you find things, okay, like if I'm looking and it says, here, Mr. Smith had a, phone call with so-and-so. Okay, well, where's that phone call? You're reading stuff and you're coming across things and it's like, where is that? So that's why you're asking. That's where the discovery requests come into play. It's because it's based off of what they're giving you. And then you're going and looking for something else and you can't find it and you're asking for that. Like that's where it's coming from, especially like your 10th request. I mean, come on. Like what could they be requesting, right? What do they want? But there's more. They're sealing everything. Why? Well, they stipulated to things. This is what you're looking at here is this motion is made pursuant to ICAR 32 I2D and E and IC 741241B. Because these documents, guys, they contain facts or statements that might threaten or endanger the life or safety of an individual. That's an option. Or it's because we're preserving the right to a fair trial. Or option 3, which is disclosure would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Me personally, I'm leaning towards 2 and 3 that this stuff is being sealed for. I don't think anybody's life is in danger unless Bryan Kohberger is not the guy, right? But then again, what if he isn't? I know everybody's like, hey. Lana, open up the panel. Absolutely, you will have 2 minutes to talk. It's funny, though, when I see people that want the panel opened up and I've never seen their names before. So can only imagine. So the IgG has to be turned over. Everything to do with the DNA has to be turned over December 1st. We have a 10th request for discovery. They stipulate to, we're going to go ahead and seal this. I want my breadcrumbs. Give me and normally when we get that is when there's a motion to compel. So I'm waiting for this motion to compel. Okay. Because in a motion to compel, it's like, hey, we requested this, but they didn't give us this. Like, that's where I get my goods to go dig in. But yes, it's the 10th request. It's normal to request discovery, but I mean, I don't know. My request would be, hey, the FBI just went in that motherfucker. This is my request. What'd y'all get? What'd y'all find? We want whatever you guys found when you guys just went into the house. You know? So again, welcome to the transparency. Let's get it on. Here's the link. You have to show me yourself backstage. So in the world. There you go. This just started. This only started 6 minutes and 15 seconds. I started realizing what they're telling people. It's when the notification went out. So 35 minutes ago is the notification. So this just started 6 minutes and 27 seconds ago. So there's your link. What's up, Andy Joe? Take the link, boo. You guys, I uncovered some bombs today in the Dr. Moore, Dr. Dre case. Like, I'm talking absolute fucking holy shit bombs. Idaho, man, you guys are on crack cocaine. What are we doing? You have 2 minutes to ask me or tell me whatever you think about the Idaho4 case. We're on our 10th discovery request. What do you guys think it could be? What do y'all want? Well, we want the damn firstborn of everybody now. God, these trials coming up, man. Woo! Hot and heavy. You guys. Woo! I'm going to be doing a members only live tonight. Get in, because this member only live is off the chains. Why has there never been a request for a change of venue? I mean, it could still come. Woo! Woo! Oh God. Wait, let me do something. Can we just get everything related, maybe, please? Everything related. What? Huh? Paste. Who was it? Click the link, peeps. Let's hear it. I mean, really, what is there to say, guys? It's just like the DNA, like Bill Thompson. Let me bring up Bill. Hi, Lana. And yeah, the prosecution math just not mathing. Their math. Well, let's see. Let me find out.
Lake County Court this morning. Shannon?
Now, this all revolves around a huge piece of the case, investigative genetic genealogy, which the state says was used to develop the first leads that pointed to suspect Bryan Kohberger. In what could signal a win for the defense, Latah County Judge John Judge says the state must turn over all investigative genetic genealogy, or IGG, material by December 1st.
I'm asking to look at all this because I can't make informed decisions if I don't.
The judge wants to review it all privately to determine what to turn over to Bryan Kohberger's defense team. In an October 25th order, he ruled they showed at least some of that material is essential to building a case. Citing filings from prosecutors, the judge says the FBI used a DNA profile found on a knife sheath at the scene, uploaded it to public genetic databases, and used social media, birth and death certificates, and other public info to build a family tree, which later led to Kohberger. The defense has asked for all the info on how investigators did this testing.
But I think that there's missing information from the author profile that we have. I'm hoping the court gets it, and I certainly understand that the court needs to see everything to make a decision. My hope is that everything includes communication so that you can follow the path of what happened.
The state has argued the FBI didn't directly compare DNA from the sheath to Kohberger's DNA, and the genetic genealogy testing won't come up at trial. Prosecutor Bill Thompson voiced concern the defense has false assumptions.
There are items that she thinks ought to be there that do not exist. But I don't think that the lawyers ought to get into the guessing game of what should and shouldn't be there, particularly since it is our position defense has a fundamental understanding of the difference between SNP profiles and traditional DNA comparisons and how that process works.
We are not trying to mislead the court. We have been absolutely clear, and we've relied upon Department of Justice policy in our expectations.
Thompson says he's already notified the FBI it needs to turn over everything it has.
Let's start where we know we have things, and then we can go from there.
But Thompson warned it could take a month to get the FBI documents, as a request has to go through the bureaucracy of the Department of Justice. Now, there's no timeline on how.
Okay, so listen to this. If these requests have to go through the Department of, like, everything would have to do this, okay? That means there was never any reports that the FBI turned over. When you're talking about the car and you're talking about anything that the FBI had a hand in, they never gave that. When we're talking about getting the probable cause affidavit to, this is your probable cause to arrest this man. You guys understand that? Like, how did you arrest him? What did you arrest him on? We, had all this shit. What shit? You didn't have shit. You made it all up. You worked backwards to make up some fucking random ass shit and to say that that's his car, or that's his car, and that's, you don't have an eyewitness. You don't have a murder weapon. You don't have a motive. You don't have him going in the house, leaving the house. You don't have any physical fucking evidence. None, except for one thing, which is going to get shredded in court if there's not blood on that sheath. It's going to get shredded in court if it even makes it in. If there is not blood seen on any body cam, what's the chain, the custody, who found it, where's the picture of it when it was found, the crime scene photos. Ann Taylor is going so hard with this because it doesn't fit. That's my takeaway. Okay. You're going so hard for this because something is off. Like, it should just, if it just was flowy with the crime scene, something's off here. That is what I see. Because how did you get to Bryan Kohberger? We got to Bryan Kohberger because of that sheath, that it had touch DNA on it. And there was only one, or there was DNA on it, and it was only one source, and it was his. But he wore gloves during the whole commission of this crime, didn't get scratched, didn't get cut. There's nothing on anybody's fingernails. You think it's a perfect match, or yeah, we got her because somebody's talking about bushy motherfucking eyebrows. No, absolutely not. That is not an identification of a person. Absolutely not. You don't have, and it matched the description of one of the surviving roommates. That somebody was clad in all black and had bushy eyebrows. Get out of here. It's never gonna fly. I mean, it will to a bunch of dumbasses maybe, but or bought jury. But the jury may not even hear that. So Ann Taylor's like, listen to this again.
Genealogy, which the state says was used to develop the first leads that pointed to suspect
The
Bryan
only lead.
Kohberger.
The only lead. Not the fuck all that.
In what could
No.
signal a
Bullshit. It's the only lead. IGG is the only lead.
Shannon Mowdy explains the decision that came down in a Latah County court this morning. Shannon?
This all revolves around a huge piece of the case, investigative genetic genealogy, which the state says was used to develop the first leads that pointed to suspect Bryan
The only
Kohberger.
lead. Get out of here.
In what could signal a win for the defense, Latah County Judge John Judge says the state must turn over all investigative genetic genealogy, or IGG, material.
Mr. Lux.
Lena.
How are you, man?
I'm doing all right, but I have a really bad cold. I don't know if I have a cold, if I have COVID. I don't know what it is, but it's all right. It should go away soon.
Me too.
It's been a while.
What's up? What's up? Talk to me. Talk dirty to me.
It's been a lot of things going on. I kid you not. For a long time, I'm thinking, like, what the hell is this judge doing? Is that Bill Thompson's boy from high school? I don't know what's going on. I'm like, he's not ruling anything in the defense's favor.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay.
That's way better.
So for a long time, I'm like, what is this judge doing? He's not ruling anything in the defense's favor. And then all of a sudden, it's like with this IGG thing, he's like all of a sudden siding with the defense. And
I think he has no choice.
What'd you say?
I don't think he has a choice because there's no evidence. Like this is like, yeah, how did you get to Bryan Kohberger? Like, what'd y'all do? Like, there's nothing there and I think that's Ann's take is like, how did you arrest my client? Is it the car? Did you see him?
No, it absolutely is relevant to the case because you you would not find BK. You would have a DNA test, and he's never been charged with anything before. So you would not find him in CODIS. So you would have a DNA test like you have the DNA test of the other guys that they didn't run, the other DNA test they found at the house, at the crime scene, that they don't know who they are, but they assume, it's just maybe someone that came to a party. But without that supposed IGG, now here's the catch. I've been saying this for a long time, and that's my speculation. I'm like, they never did this IGG test. Or if they did it, it was inconclusive. They never did this. It takes a long time. You can't do this stuff with just a little bit of touch DNA from a knife sheet. It's impossible. I've spoken to DNA experts that said, no way, it can't be done. Not in that time frame. Remember, in 1 month, they came back with that result. And remember, I told you that they went to they got the parents' garbage, and the next day they had the DNA result. You see the trend right there. The trend is they're not really catching this stuff. They're just assuming. They already planted this. They already knew that was this guy's DNA. The only solution for this, right? The only explanation for this, and Ann Taylor said it right, the DNA was planted. The only way you would know that this is going to be BK when I do this, when I grab the garbage, when I grab his parents' garbage, is if you planted his DNA. And guess what they had access to? They had access to his office. And I've been calling this all along. I think he was hated on campus, and somebody gave him as a WSU tip. And guess what? They went in his office and probably got his DNA off a pen or something in his office and said, nah, this is going to be our guy. And I'm pretty sure they knew he's driving around at night because they stopped him before at night. They knew this guy's driving around at night. They had a month to watch his moves. So they knew this guy's driving around at night. He's the perfect victim for this. Yeah. And I've been calling it. Lena. I've been calling. I said the DNA's planted. But as far as the IgG's concerned, you have to. It absolutely matters. Like I think if you cannot provide the IgG result, then it does become a fruit of the poisonous tree. And that would mean that there is a path to having the DNA night sheet thrown out. Because once you prove fruit of the poisonous tree, everything that follows must be thrown out. And I think the scenario is going to be the DNA evidence is going to be thrown out, and the judge is going to be, this is such a serious case, we'll let this go to trial, which is circumstantial evidence of the car, which is circumstantial evidence of your bushy eyebrows. With those circumstantial evidence, that's what I see happening.
Yeah, I just want the dates. Give the dates of all of these things that you said you did. Give the dates, because the dates are going to prove everything. They're going to prove if this was possible. You know, when they want to hide the custody, the chain, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, what? No, you're not. Think about this. They took evidence from the crime scene. Think about this. They took evidence from the crime scene and they're giving it to somebody to go and do and perform work on it, to perform a tip. And you don't think that everything that you did with this DNA, and it's your, you don't think that you have to cough up any information on what you did with this DNA to then have it, even that there was a tip to be given, how you think that even is remotely not discoverable material, that makes me sick. That makes me so sick that anybody would even say that.
Lena, I'm going to leave you with this, okay? I'm sick. I can't talk for too long.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave you with this.
You only got 3 minutes.
You called it right. And I always watch you for a reason, because I said that you could be a lawyer. You could be BK's lawyer. You could do what Ann Taylor's doing. I don't know who does what you do. Not even Daniel. I watch Daniel's channel. He's good, but he doesn't do what you do. You called it perfectly, and I'm like, damn, she's good. You said that. How can they have, how can the FBI have S&P? The FBI doesn't use S&P. The FBI use SDR. And then the judge called it perfectly, was like, how do you have 2 S&P profiles? First of all, you're not supposed to be using S&P. The private lab's supposed to be using S&P.
And they use
SDR.
And that's who FBI, they contract with Ortham. So it's going to be I'm just saying, I don't give a shit for you to think you're going to charge me and try to kill me. The government is trying to kill me. It's just what it is. You got me on the death penalty, and you don't think that you have to tell me how you got to me and provide me with that information so that I could defend myself. You've lost your fucking mind. Like, who do you think you are? Wild.
And if they don't have the tree, let's say they don't have the actual testing, I want to see the communication, because I know that the FBI cannot have S&P. So I know that you can only have SDR. The private lab has S&P. I want to see the communication in real time. That's what I want to see. If you did this, you didn't save anything else, show me the communication that you were doing with that lab in real time.
Where's the communication with the lab?
Yeah.
Where's
Lena.
All right, baby.
All right, good night.
He's great. He doesn't feel good. I brought my list with me. This is all we need to know. chain of custody with all communication from lab to obtain the DNA. Hold on, I wanted to hear this again, though. I let him come up before I wanted to hear the end of this.
By December 1st.
I'm asking to look at all this because I can't make informed decisions if I don't.
The judge wants to review it all privately to determine what to turn over to Bryan Kohberger's defense team. In an October 25th order, he ruled they showed at least some of that material is essential to building a case. Citing filings from prosecutors, the judge says the FBI used a DNA profile found on a knife sheath at the scene.
Okay. So, hold on. I have my, I'm a student now. So let me tell you guys something. I got my student S book over here, okay? Let me grab it. What the fuck is it? There it is. Forensic genealogy. Okay. Actually, let's see. All right, listen to this. Ancestry DNA is designed for less experienced users, as it presently only provides the estimated relationships of matches without disclosing the details of how much DNA they share, or the position and lengths of shared segments. The lack of such match details prohibits the use of ancestry DNA. Results for triangulating which matches match other or each other, and phasing to determine along which line a match might connect. In March of 2013, in response to customer demands, Ancestry began to allow downloads of raw data. As of May of 2013, Ancestry DNA is only available for purchase in the United States. That is as of 2013. Online databases. So I was going through all of these fucking databases. SMGF, YSearch, GEDmatch. GEDmatch is a public autosomal DNA database that offers information on the segments you share with your matches, along with the ability to triangulate to determine which of your matches match each other and where. The website accepts raw data from 23andMe, FTDNA, and Ancestry.com. GEDmatch also accepts xDNA data. Tools are provided for one-to-many, one-to-one matching, phasing, finding matches on specific segments, and for triangulating results by finding matches who do or do not match each other. GEDmatch offers a number of useful tools, such as a facility to check whether your parents are related to each other based on how much hemoglobin DNA you have. I think it was, what's her tits? Miss Potts wanting and asking about like twins and stuff like that. Hemoglobin DNA comprises segments that are identical on each chromosome of a pair. Since you inherited one member of each pair from your mother and one from your father, the amount of homoglobous DNA indicates how closely your parents are probably related. So if you guys want to find out if your parents are just like, cousins banging, what's her tits? You like that? Okay. Then you get to the part that says you are ready to document your shit. Like, if you're going to be a bomb ass bitch, you better be really good at documenting your stuff. What that means is there's a whole section that teaches you how to document your work, how to save your work, how to, when you're building what you're building. And the first thing that you want to do is you want to work on your own family tree, because you want to learn like you know, what does it mean to be like once removed and shit like that? Like you. So I'm over here and it's showing you how you do. So let me show you guys. All right. So I'll put you guys big. It's like you're making a bracket, okay? This shit. All right. So when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you have worksheets and shit. All right. And one of the things that they tell you that you need to be bomb at is being this. You have to. What are you going to do with all the data that you collect to like tell you like what's up? Like, what are you going to do with it? You're just going to like keep it like what? What are you going to do with it? Like you're doing a ton of research. You guys know what it's like to go Facebook stalking, okay? Facebook stalking times like 50 on fucking steroids, all right? You're using, like when Gabby's telling me I gotta like, hey, do you know how to look up if I was like, hey, I need you to go find a marriage record in fucking Italy. Do you know how to look that up? I'm like, what? Why? I don't want to fucking do that shit. So it's like Facebook stalking on steroids. Think about what we do when we want to find out if our boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on us. We take screenshots of stuff. So you're doing all this. You're going to tell me that the FBI is working one of the highest fucking profile cases and they're not fucking backing up their work? Think about how stupid that is. Think about that. That doesn't even make any fucking sense with what I am learning. Okay. Section A of this, what it's teaching me. As you dive deeper into your family's history, the amount of information you find can be overwhelming. Use the worksheets in this section to help you organize and share your family tree data. In this section, you will find A, family group sheet, B, ancestry worksheet. So the first family group sheet is save information about a single family unit. Your ancestry worksheet is to record a host of information about one individual family member. Then you have your 5-generation ancestry chart. That's to document your family back to your great-great-grandparents. Source citation worksheet. This to me was what I was looking at. Track where you got your research with this template for recording information about your sources. It's like anything. You're citing your source. Like we're like when I have to come out here and say, hey, did you know that Kaylee's had a sister and it's not her like full-blown sister. She took to social media and she wrote all this stuff about Steve and blah, blah, blah. Where'd you get that information from? I don't know. What you clearly like you have it. Where is it? Oh, I don't know. I didn't take any screenshots. I can't remember where I got it. No, you would, oh yeah, I got it off of TikTok or I got it off of this or I got it off of that. You're going to sit here and tell me that the FBI is working one of the highest profile cases to date in a long, long time and they're just not going to fucking take any notes? You're going to get fired and you should be fired. You should be fucking fired. Okay? That is the stupidest shit I think I've ever heard when I'm over here trying to cram and train for this crap. I think IGG is for shit, by the way. Somebody else, I'll stick to what I've been loving over here, okay? But I was just damned I want to know it. I want to know because no one's going to fuck with me. Now, research, plan trips to archives, cemeteries, and other record holding locations. Fuck all that. Save time in your research by listing the different ways your ancestors' name could be spelled in records, because if the name could possibly be spelled different. Now, then it was all about, okay, you have these fucking matches, and how do you know, like, how important they are? Like, okay, you're just looking at this stuff, like, what the fuck does it mean? And I cared about it. I just wanted to know what it all, like, this thing is like a cheat sheet. So, like, if you're 40 years old, you'd have a kid and they'd be how old? Like, shit like that. I'll tell you what I did learn. Cleveland's badass, man. Cleveland, 1880, 100. One of these. Okay. Well, Cleveland is on here. Since, and then Cleveland comes on the map on top 10 populous cities. Getting on the map, top 10.
Hair DNA from the sheath to Kohberger's DNA and the genetic.
Okay. In genealogy, that's exactly what you're compare. You don't compare. If you're doing the IgG work, you match. So go and obtain and they never like, so if I was to be like doing this and that was the case I was working, to give you the material. Do you want me to give you in a drop? Give it a drop. They're trying to cut me down. Testing. Okay. Sorry, guys. I have no idea. I do apologize. It's not me, I swear. But I am going to be doing a members only live, so I'm just going to go ahead and end this. But I did want to say goodbye, and I want to say thank you for all the members, the new members, and all the memberships that were bought for people. That's so fucking awesome, you guys. Look at that. Boom, 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 boom. You guys are just rock fucking stars, man. Bottom line is you have to show you would never do all of this and do all of this work and not protect your work because you want to get the guy. Okay. So like it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous what they are trying to claim. Okay. Absolutely ridiculous. It is unfathomable. Thank you so much. Remember, for 7 months, we're almost having a baby together there. You guys, I've been just booking it, okay? They're lying. You would never do what they did. You would never say, don't. You're trying to catch a killer. Absolutely unbelievable. You guys, they call it a brick wall. That's like the terminology that they use. Like you're approaching a brick wall. And there's different ways to get around brick walls, but they're lying. They're lying. We learned to show your work in middle school. Yeah, can you imagine someone, you're working for the FBI and you're not showing your work? Get the hell out of here. I'm one of the biggest cases. And what Ann Taylor is saying right here is that we have an issue. We have an issue right here.
Genealogy testing won't come up at trial. Prosecutor Bill Thompson
It's not about the genealogy testing, okay? It's about the dates. It's about how long you're saying that you did it and what you did. Because why would anybody just straight, how are you getting this? There's no ties to him. This is the only thing that links him. You would have never come across this man. Ever. Never.
Voiced concern the defense has false assumptions.
There are items that she thinks ought to be there that do not exist. But I don't think that the lawyers ought to get into the guessing game of what should and shouldn't be there, particularly since it is our position the defense has a fundamental misunderstanding of the difference between SNP profiles and traditional DNA comparisons and how that process works.
We are not trying to mislead the court. We have been absolutely clear, and we've relied on Department of Justice policy in our expectations.
Thompson says he's already notified the FBI it needs to turn over everything it has.
Let's start where we know we have things, and then we can go from there.
Okay. Now think about this. Why would the FBI need to be told that they need to do this? Think about this. The FBI was just back at that house. The FBI is in that house. So you're going to let people that just totally royally fucked up, in a sense, because you didn't take pictures, you didn't, protect your work. We're going to just go ahead and let them back in the house. You guys, do you want to know what I do when I have an employee that doesn't do something the right way? They get fired, or they just, you don't give them that type of responsibilities. So we're going to let the FBI back into this house. After we're over here, we can't even, Bill Thompson says it's going to take a month to get the IgG. What? Who believes this? Who believes this? You guys, come on, man. We ain't this dumb. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, this is killer.
Okay, I'm going into
Oh good. JLR. Love it.
I'm going
Okay. Oh, there you go. I was muted. Mutation. Miss Vargas.
What? Am I live on there? I don't want to be on there.
Okay.
What do you want?
I was trying to ask Miss Vargas how good I'm doing in class. I'm failing really, really bad. Truth is, I'm failing. She asked me how basic I want to be. Can I talk to Runa? You guys, this pizza is so good. Don't even know where it's from. They're gonna, I mean, I feel horrible for these parents. They're in for a rude awakening. You got Bill Thompson over there. The defense is just totally confused. No, the defense isn't the one. It's the experts that are telling them like how shit operates. You think Ann Taylor's over there like, I'm gonna tell you, Bill, how DNA is? No, she went out and hired people to fucking explain all this shit and how shit should be. That's why they did these like declarations and fucking affidavits and went and testified. Like, what in the world is Bill Thompson talking about? That the defense is confused. So you got experts that are confused? Excuse me? Listen to him. Hey, Bill Thompson, wake the fuck up. Your fucking law enforcement crew hasn't even turned over anything. You have no idea what the fuck you have because you haven't fucking seen it. But you're gonna go over here and defend it. What a dumbass. I wouldn't defend shit until I saw it.
And for the defense, Latah County Judge
Giving
John
me anything, I would tell them to go fucking sit and spin.
Judge says the state must turn over all investigative genetic genealogy, or IgG, material by December 1st.
I'm asking to look at all this because I can't make informed decisions if I don't.
The judge wants
That means he doesn't have anything. He doesn't have anything. There's nothing in this discovery that has anything to do with any DNA. Like, what a dipshit. But the defense is confused. The defense brought the experts to tell you what the fuck was up with whatever you think that y'all did. Okay? And how you think you did it. For one, there'd be a receipt from the FBI paying for what the hell they did because they can't use law enforcement kits like that. Number one. I mean, what the fuck? Where's the receipts?
Review it all privately to determine what to turn over to Bryan Kohberger's defense team. In an October 25th order, he ruled they showed at least some of that material is essential to building a case. Citing filings from prosecutors, the judge says the FBI used a DNA profile found on a knife sheath at the scene, uploaded it to public genetic databases, and used social media, birth and death certificates, and other public info to build a family tree, which later led to Kohberger. The defense has asked for all the info on how investigators did this testing.
But I think that there's missing information from the Optum profile. that
There's
we have.
missing information from the profile. You know what that means when she's saying there's missing information from the profile? Everybody, you guys know that 98% of our DNA all matches. 98%. We all share 98% of the same DNA. 2% is different. 2. Pretty interesting, huh? Well, take me back to high school. I fucking hated this shit.
I'm hoping the court gets it, and I certainly understand that the court needs to see everything to make a decision. My hope is that everything includes communication so that you can follow.
Right there. My hope is that it involves communication so that you can follow the path. That's what a timeline is. It's a path. It's a fucking journey. It's a fucking yellow brick road. A path. That's what she's saying. They need to turn over everything, the communication, so that you can all so you know how they got from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. I feel like fucking JLR eating right in front of you guys. There you go, Super Greek. Well, if you're not that super Greek, I really don't want to hear about the Greek life. I'm really not interested. Like, hopefully they include the communication. The communication she's talking about, so you can follow what they did, how they did it, who they reached out to, all the steps involved.
The state has argued the FBI directly compared DNA sheath DNA, and the genetic genealogy testing won't come up at trial. Prosecutor Bill
Right, do you understand that that is not IgG right there? No, and it already came up. I'm Mr. Lux. What? Why are you going on 2 different names? I doubt that's really you. Whatever. I don't have time for games. Think about this. They are saying that they're using IgG, and then all of a sudden at the end, when you're supposed to check your work, because what you do is you give your, hey, this is who we think it is. Okay, go out and get this DNA, and then you test it against what you have. That's what you would do. So listen to what they just said here. They're doing this process, and then they get to the final step, which is here's the tip name that we gave you. So guess what you're supposed to do after that? You're supposed to then, once you give the tip of Bryan Kohberger, then you're supposed to go and obtain Bryan Kohberger's DNA. This is what I'm being taught. Hey, you have to go and get Bryan Kohberger's DNA because that's who we think it is based on our work. And you're going to compare, go obtain it off of a cigarette butt, off of something. And then you're going to test it to what you have. Do you understand that they didn't do that? Do you understand that? My question is when did the name Bryan Kohberger get submitted as this tip? Okay, because what they tell you to do, you guys, all this shit I'm fucking enamored in, okay? I fucking hate it. I hate school. I like to learn, but just fuck school. Let me just do my thing. So you're telling me to the climax, we're about to climax on this case, and we don't climax because we don't complete it. We don't complete it. Wait, what do you mean we don't complete it? You guys, I gave you Bryan Kohberger's name. Why aren't you go out and get his DNA so that we can then test it against the sample that you have? That's what you're supposed to do. They didn't do that. You guys understand that? What do you mean they didn't do that, Lana? You're supposed to go to this person and scoop up their DNA. What? Why wouldn't we just go to their family? What? That's not. You can, but that's not what that's not IgG work. You understand that? So it's like we get to the NBA championship game. Okay. We are down to the last 3 seconds and they foul us and we're supposed to shoot free throws to win the game. And all we have to do, is make 1 out of 2 of the free throws. And what do? We just don't even shoot the free throws. What? Yeah, no. Like to close it out. Like you're right there. Do the last step. Sink the basket, win the game. That's the last step. Like, no, instead we're going to go get the dad's DNA. What? We can't get his DNA. What do you mean you can't get his DNA? I just can't wait for that question to be asked on the stand. But see, there's a step missing for me. There's a reason that they had to do what they did. In order for there to be a match, Bryan's family would have to be in that database. And so you need Bryan's family's DNA. You know what I'm saying? But when I found out how much you have to spit to get it the fuck up in there, I don't know, bros. I don't know. I just know with what I'm being taught, I would never say to the detective, go and get the dad's DNA. That would never be something that you would say to do. So so if you're working a case with a detective, you would tell them that once you're supplying this name or multiple names, because maybe it's brothers, and that you would say, they would go and they would obtain that they go and they get that person's, DNA to then check the work of what you're providing. And what Anne's basically saying is that the profile, she's basically saying that the profile that they have is off, which is wild. This is fucking wild shit. I just know that that's just not how you would do it. You would never suggest that. I would never go to a cop that I was working with and say, go get the dad's DNA. What do you mean go get the dad's DNA? We don't have the dad's DNA to compare it to, even if we were to obtain the dad's DNA. You understand that? And so it's why would you do, what are you doing? That's why I can't wait for these fucking cops to have to say, we could not obtain his DNA. We were following him around for weeks and we just couldn't get it. In his office, there was no DNA in there. He didn't pass out papers and lick his lips to pass out a piece of paper in his class. You couldn't get one of his students to act like they were going to a TA, office hours to get help with something, and to have them touch all the paper or something like that. Come the fuck on, man. Like, there is just no, and if this is the truth, then those people should all be fired. And they say, oh, Lana, why don't you work for them? Fuck no. I'm not working for busted up bitches. I'm not working for cheaters. I'm not working for fucking lazy motherfuckers. Because this is all lazy. Do it the right way. Take your fucking oath seriously. I'm just saying, I'd be pissed. If I was a Fed, I'd be so pissed. If I was a cop, I'd be so pissed. Period. Like, with what I do, people that use their channels in like baby bitch ways, like, fuck out of here. Okay, YouTube isn't a bullying fucking platform. Fuck you. Like, I think that shit's nasty, talking about people. The fuck out of here. None of those channels should exist. So yeah, like for me, like if I was to like be okay with that, like, no, fuck you. That's not what this is for. For you to fucking have like your soap operas with just so fucking like your little baby fucking 6th grade bullshit. Fuck out of here, man. Fucking life's pathetic. Those are doing that shit. Woo! But yeah, either Bryan Kohberger's guilty or he's innocent, but we're not going to know because nobody wants to do anything the right way. Because if Bryan Kohberger is guilty and this motherfucker walks, who should be blamed for that? Don't sit there and say Ann Taylor got him off. Hell no. Ann Taylor didn't get anybody off. Y'all fucked the dog. And this is why people need to pay attention pre-trial with shit. This is the fuck. No, you guys want to go cover for some fucking frats and blame somebody else? That's what I see. Money. Bryan Kohberger's parents, they don't got no money. Bryan Kohberger, who gives a fuck about him? But Sigma Chi, all the fraternities with the Sigma Chi would go down. Sigma Chi wouldn't even have any chapters if this involves Sigma Chi. You understand that? You know how much money that is? But if Bryan Kohberger is the guy that did this, and he doesn't, and he is acquitted, and he truly did this, it's not Ann Taylor's fault. It's fucking the prosecution's fault. It's the fucking cops' fault. It's the fucking FBI's fault, period. Because this is a fucking mess. And it ain't, Ann Taylor didn't start with Bryan Kohberger in fucking November when this happened. And the other people that are to blame are all the fucking witnesses. Okay? If you know something, say something. Pussy asses. My friend gets murdered like this and I'm going to stay quiet because I fucking drank underage or I fucking did some drugs. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Y'all know that none of you people have seen Bryan Kohberger. And yet he's the guy. Out of here. Speaking of which, I blew up Idaho today. Let me tell you guys. I'll give you a little preview because I'm on a those. God, see, they're like, Lana, man, I swear to God, what you doing, girl? Well, I'm gonna tell you what I did. Let's see.
has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone.
I'm just trying to hear you. The lab where?
Regional Medical Center.
Okay, where do I have the? I'm just trying to like. Where?
Idaho.
And it's the what lab? How do you pronounce it? Okay. Wow. In Boise, Idaho?
Yes.
Okay. But you work?
Yes.
Okay, what's the lab work for?
You can Google that. I gotta go. I got stuff to do.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Ready? Ready for this? I need this shit. I was going through phone records, and I'm like, that number is. I was like, fuck it. I just called it. Listen to what they say to me. The lab where? I hear you. The lab where?
At St. Alphonsus Regional.
This number. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, where?
Boise, Idaho.
You're in Boise, Idaho, and it's the what's the lab?
The hospital.
Oh, it's a. Okay. Okay, but you do lab work?
You can Google.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you. I can Google that. What type of lab work you do? You're a hospital. You can just Google that. Like, why would that be? You know what I mean? Google. Well, so there's more. Okay. Outreach, is this Stacy?
I'm sorry, you just cut out there. What was that?
Oh, hi. I'm trying to reach. Is this Stacy?
Yes.
Actually, I don't know if this is a good time to grab you, but I'm trying to reach Stacy, and I think this is you. So, hello, Atlanta, Home Team Productions, and I'm actually producing a documentary that has to do with the Brian Drake case. And I had my notes here. I don't know if this is a good time for questions. I had in my notes here, your name and number as far as on the date of March 12th, the Drake's daughter setting an announcement with, your daughter after school. I don't know if you recall.
They are friends, but I can honestly tell you. But yes.
Oh, okay. Because I have here in my notes, it was like early in the morning on March 12th that Jennifer Drake said hi if Libby was going to the would pick up or she can actually come with us after school. Libby could do homework together and do something, and then we'll play. But it was during rings a bell, and like
I get they need to land, and I guess it doesn't ring a bell. I believe that's probably what happened. I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's been so long.
And then definitely the details went wayside when Brian was murdered. So
you don't like You don't recall if their daughter was with you that day at all?
I don't think she was. No.
Yeah.
I don't think she was.
Okay.
Oh, was it the day school stopped?
There was school, and then this was supposed to said that it was. It said there was a text at like 8 in the morning. It said like, I totally understand. I'd love to. School. I'm meeting them all in the school parking lot after school, so I can meet. Where and when would it work for you? I will email Mr. Brown to let the girls know. That was like an outgoing. You said meet them behind Super One. Want to meet there? How do you want to meet? But this was like, this was during. So like everything was like, being planned, and then there was like at 11:30 that day. It said like had it about 3:45. I don't know if any rings a bell, and you were like, or there was another text that said to you again, Triple Play fundraiser has been canceled. Maybe then that's when it was like, nothing had happened then.
Yeah, it's probably, I can attest to all that. But I can see us doing that. So, that's how we always. I went to school with best friends, so we always were doing that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And I was just gonna say, what else did I have? Oh yeah, here it was. Were you ever aware of like when Bryan's leg was, broken? On that, because there's conflicting stuff up in Bonners talking about January versus February. I know it's so long ago.
No, I have no idea. I just know it was broken. So who are you? What are you doing?
The whole case. So just
Jennifer's approval.
Yeah, well, I mean, approval as far as we're trying to help her get as much information.
Okay, I just want to
this is just
there's a bunch of skinny lawyers around. Okay, I helped the wrong person.
Oh God.
Say something wrong because I really don't remember. I don't remember when he broke his leg. I remember the video, so.
Oh God, when.
Right, yeah.
Oh my gosh, how crazy that to like have that.
My best friend's mom's. I know that whole thing because we grew up in Bonners Ferry, and the mom was that. Dora, her daughter is Ellen, and.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because I was actually trying to. That was we saw we had pictures of a truck that we found. Give them to her to see if she recognized them because she was there. We've been just doing it. We've been trying to just dig up a bunch of stuff to. Yeah, obviously, I think anybody deserves justice and to figure out. So, I'll do listening to her stuff again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Get on video record. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So, I appreciate you, Stacy. Sorry to just questions. Yeah. Thank you so much. We're just trying to, I'm keeping most people want to be known. It's just up to them. See you guys soon.